Hello everyone, this is Taryn with Wonderfully Made Handcrafting, and today I'm showing you how I am doing my DIY Dori kit for this month. I just showed you a sneak on how I did it a couple months ago back in July for a Heavenly Host devotional, and this is the second time that By the Will for God is doing these DIY Dories. So I am spraying mine with some antique linen distress spray. Now, some of you may be concerned because if you do get this wet after spraying it, it can ruin, the staining process. However, it takes a lot of work to lift up some of this coloring, as you can see here in a couple seconds when I mess up. And I don't plan on leaving this out where it can get water on it. So I'm really not that concerned. But this Craft Tex is like a fabric paper and it is luxurious. It is like this leathery supple feel. It's so nice. As you saw there, I did try to use a little bit of walnut stain distress oxide in some places to get some darker colors in there, and this is where I mess up right here. So I have my fingers down and I'm working on that section, and then I lift up and you can see all of my knuckles on the back side of my hand, and I will work on that for a while to try to pull some of it up. And honestly, at the end of this, you don't really see it that much. You do, see a little bit of a darker area in that section. But once I add some more distress spray stain, it kind of covers it up a little bit. So I try not to spray too much on the actual picture. I do kind of do a light dusting with my hands, or like a swishing motion over the picture, but I don't try to spray directly on that picture because I want it to be as vibrant as possible. It's already distressed and it's just the way I want it. So I use my heat gun to dry it off. It dries fairly fast, but I just kind of get that general dry feeling, and then I put it to the side and let it air dry the rest of the way. So now I'm going to turn to how I'm going to close this journal. I had this piece of lace from my A House of Books subscription, and I really wanted to use it to add some extra texture to the outside of this journal. And I'm also going to be using the seam binding. So the seam binding was an added little texture extra to the devotional kit this month, and so I'm deciding to use that, and I will thread it through that lace and make a really cool kind of closure. So this is Distress Mica stain, and I'm using the color Yuletide. And so what this is a distress stain with some mica flecks in it, and it makes it super sparkly and Christmassy, and I absolutely love it. It is super messy though, even more so than the distress spray stain, or maybe it's just because it's red, but it gets everywhere and I have to clean up my desk. But let me give you a little hint. If you ever get distress spray stain or mica stain on your desk, then use some of that Dawn Power Wash, and it does wonders on cleaning white desks. So you'll see me here also use the same spray with this bungee, and now with that bungee cord, it does change it more of a burgundy color rather than the seam binding is more of a red. So they actually don't really match that well, but I'm okay with it. I'm not putting the bungee cord on yet. I might do it at the end of this month, at the end of the whole project, to hold the pages together. But right now I don't have any definite plans to using it. But I figured while I was dyeing my stuff, I might as well do it then. So that's what I decided to do. So I am drying that off as well with my heat tool, and then I'm going to work on putting this all together. So I'm going to thread that seam binding through the lace, just kind of weave it in and out. I will put it in the middle part as well, so it kind of holds that lace up, especially near that binding, and I will tie that on. I also want to add some jingle bells that I picked up from Walmart, and that's going to just add a fun little noise flair to this junk journal and makes it feel all Christmassy to me. And so that is what I decided to do with this closure. Now this bag of Jingle Bells had both large and small bells, and so I chose to do both one large and one small, just so I would get a different sound from each bell, and I just think it looks cute to have one larger and one smaller. So anyways, I threaded the seam binding through the little holes on the bells. I did use my fussy cutting scissors to kind of push that seam binding through the small one. It wasn't too big of a deal. And then I just knotted the ends. And then I wanted to show you quickly the inside and my signatures. So I sewed two signatures. One goes inside the other. I would have done one bulk signature. However, my sewing machine probably wouldn't have been happy with me. So I used a lot of these papers from A House of Books. I just wanted all the textured wallpapers and different things that I could find from my subscriptions throughout the months. And I also added some fabric from Walmart. Now, Walmart doesn't have an expansive fabric section. However, they do have some good staples, so make sure to go check that out. And yeah, this is how my DIY Dori kit turned out for Let Heaven and Nature Sing. I will be adding different elements from By the Will for God as I work through this kit throughout the month, and I'm really excited about this. So let me know down in the comments if you picked up the DIY Dori kit and what you plan on doing with it. And I hope you have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.